inspections.com or call or text 208-451-4558. The common stock of MW Mining is offered through a private placement memorandum pursuant to an exemption from registration under Rule 504 of Regulation D promulgated under the Securities Act of 1933. Gold mining is a high-risk business. All investing in securities involves risk. Purchasing this stock may result in the total loss of your investment.
KCAA.
The doctor is in. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with host Deborah Lee. Deborah has been practicing, teaching, and perfecting the personal prophecy card reading method for 20 plus years. This life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. This inspiring show will help you never feel helpless in life or love ever again. Now, here's your host, Deborah Lee.
Deborah Lee!
Thank you so much, everyone. As those of you listening in can tell, we have quite a live audience for you this evening. Deborah Lee. I am the only living subject matter expert for the particular method of perceiving the future from ordinary playing cards that my grandmother taught me over 35 years ago. This method she called personal prophecy. And after I learned all of the fundamentals, I did what research I could online, and I could not find anything similar to this particular method. And as we get going, you'll see why, and we'll mention to you here and there what makes it so dynamic, so life-changing, so revolutionary in the way that you can navigate your life into the future. Now, I'd like to introduce my adorable co-host. You all know Lauren.
Hello, everyone. Yay!
And if you hear a little poochie in the background, we are, of course, on Fridays. It's Bring Your Doggy or Kitty Cat to Work Day. So here in the studio, you might hear a little pooch or kitty or three.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Lauren, for joining me. We have a special request. Like those of you who are watching us via Facebook Live right now on the Psychic Love Doctor page, and I think it also shows up on my personal page, which is Deborah Lee. If you are watching and you would like a personal reading, you need to call in, okay? And don't put us on speakerphone because we're going to be really sketchy, hearing you. But if you call in, you'll get into the queue.
Yes.
For reading.
And that number that you can call into is 909-792-5222. And we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, we absolutely would. To kick off the show, though, we thought we'd start with a topic we haven't visited in quite some time. We're going to call it Modern Dating Dilemmas. And there's so many these days. I don't even think there's a book written on how to date. We're back in the day in the, say, 60s, 70s, maybe even in the 50s. There were actual manuals on how to date, how to not become a slut, how to not be a player. But nowadays, those titles might be completely turned around.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many things. It's like social media plays such a huge part in it. It's like if you add somebody, how many pictures is it okay to like? How far back do you go? I know, like, if you add picture of mine, and then it's like, he liked a picture of mine from 72 weeks ago. You know, like how you'll look like a stalker, kind of. So those things are crazy. And, you know, I think once is who should ask out who first, because we're in a...
So let's kick it off right there, Lauren. Very good that you brought that up. All right, everybody, imagine, we'll say last night, could have been happy hour after work, could have been a birthday party you attended, could have been, well, think of
the grocery store.
Wherever you were, you met somebody, you connected. Now, what's the next move? Does the man, the woman the next day, reach out? Who does the thing?
Well, excuse me. I like to follow and practice a 24-hour waiting period after first meeting someone. For me, it's like I don't want to seem like I'm too
Eager.
That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Desperate.
Right, and desperate. I don't want to seem like I'm desperate.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't want to seem like I forgot about you.
Now that is Kyle, our resident chef on call, who's just joining us tonight as what would you be, a side boy or
A side boy?
He's our
Wow,
side.
geez.
Yeah, I guess he would be our side piece,
The
so to
chef-
speak.
Oh, Lordy. Okay.
The chef on call is now our Kyle on the side.
I like
I
that.
like it.
So, and we do have a studio audience that's going to be throwing out ideas.
Yeah.
And you may, of course, disagree with us, but if we get callers, and normally we do get quite a bit of them on the line, feel free to help out with some good advice. We have a couple different generations here.
Yeah. So
The younger and the not so younger.
one thing with what Kyle is saying, that's perfect, but how do you get each other's contact information? Who should reach out to who first and how?
That's where I feel like you have to weigh out the situations. If you're in the middle of like at a bar or something like that, and you have the whole environment, and you can tell that the person is receptive towards you, then you go and pull a little bit more. Hey, I'd love to get in contact with you again. Can I get your phone number? Or we should link up sometime. It used to be about, 10 years ago, I think it was, when you could do the Facebook ask.
Yeah.
You're like, let me get your Facebook, girl. And everyone would be like, yeah, sure, you got my Facebook and everything. But nowadays it's like, yeah, let's go back to the phone numbers or whatever social media that you use to contact people.
I like Facebook. I'm married now, but before, Facebook is great. You can be like, how many friends does this person have? Do they have a good relationship with their family? You
investigate them.
Yes.
Before you even get to know them.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to know everything.
I want to know.
But isn't there a word for that in Facebook lingo, what you're doing?
It's probably
Stalking.
Trolling.
Yes,
stalking.
I've been accused of stalking just by trying to contact someone from my past. And I've been married for 36 years, so there was nothing about it
Untoward.
that
Yes.
was,
Yes. You just want to know, and it's Facebook and social media is great to, contact people from the past. But you know what? Is it Facebook stalking or is it Facebook common sense? If you end up with a serial killer and they're all, lonely and don't have any friends and stuff, and whose fault is it really if you get Richard Dahmer or whatever his name is? Jeffrey Dahmer.
And he's pretty
Yes.
dead now,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but the idea is you don't want to end up with a serial killer, and it's your fault if you haven't done your due diligence or stalking the individual. I think you have to stalk.
I think so too.
I think you're crazy.
I think
Pro-stalking,
also,
anti-stalking, stalking,
Yeah.
There's a couple
pro-stalking.
stalkers out there in the audience.
Josh,
Over here. Stalk.
yeah,
Stalk.
they're all stalkers here, but I'll tell you, in my view, a good way is to invite someone into your social circle and get to know them first as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, doesn't this work too?
No.
No?
That's interrogating
Still-
rather than stalking.
Why
That's
not?
I feel like that's an intervention, and you're
a
gonna
high
scare away
pressure
the person.
situation.
No, okay. Whatever happened to you meet the person, you don't know anything about them, you sit down on a first date in a busy place so you can actually go, okay, this stuff is not going very well.
Ew.
I'm gonna leave. What?
No,
Ew.
like
Say
that's what
ew?
the bathroom
Ew.
ditch comes to mind. I
Yeah,
mean, I
no,
just
that's
leave.
perfectly fine.
Traditional first dates are terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
not.
hate first dates.
That's the number one reason I'm happy to be married. I will never have to go on a first date ever again.
I don't know, Lauren. I
not
kind of.
necessarily true.
Right.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Jim. Jim took my
I personally think first sex is terrible.
It can be, and that's why we need to Facebook stalk, see what kind of posts they're making.
Because you can tell how the sex is going to be by Facebook.
A little.
Okay.
Sometimes people are posting some strange things, and I'm like, I don't want to be about that.
For instance, really raunchy stuff, or if they send you a picture of their genitals, I think it's pretty much a done deal.
Right.
It's game over for that.
Depends on the photo.
Look, Just like Jimmy John's, they can get delivery done in 5 minutes or less. If they get delivering that fast and that, imagine how fast it's going to be in the bedroom.
On that note, let's go to our very first caller who is here with us. Thank you for
Calling in.
Yeah.
It's Fun Friday tonight. Tiara from Texas. What can we help you with?
Hello. Hello there.
So she's trying to get in.
Yes.
Tiara?
Tiara?
You hear me?
Tiara?
Tiara
Yes, I can hear.
or Tiara?
I can hear you. Yes, it's Tiara.
Yay! How can we help you this evening, Tiara?
I wanted to know about my past.
About your
Hello?
what? I'm sorry.
About your past.
About my past and is going to be looking like.
And what's the future looking like?
Yes, I wanted to know about my past and what the future is going to be looking like. Not the past right now. I'm talking about the future of my life and what it's going to be like and my loved one and everything else. You understand?
Well, for a 1 hour radio show, that's a pretty big gotta-do list. So maybe we could narrow that way down to, I would say, let's start with one question. What area is your, the one that you most desire to get some answers on?
So you need me to ask you about my love life?
Is that,
Yes.
That sounds wonderful. Give us a little bit of detail here. Are you involved as I get your cards ready? Are you currently involved? Is there someone that you have a sparkle in your eye for? Is there someone you wish would return to your life? The more specific, folks, you can be when you call in for a reading, the more clarity I can bring to your reading.
Yes, his name's
Okay.
Corey.
Corey, okay. And now, is Corey someone from your past that's just returned to your life? Or is he completely
We've been
new?
together 5 years.
5 years, congratulations.
Yes. So how's it going, hon? Are you looking to find out what the future of the relationship will be? Yes?
It's like often, we go through arguments and, sometimes you know how relationships goes,
Absolutely.
Well, that's part of the whole relationship process.
You gotta go through those unless you're robots, I think you're gonna have to have some arguments here.
Well, and think about it. If you have never had a disagreement with the person that you are involved with, how will you ever know how strong that relationship is? Just because you never have an argument doesn't mean...
The disagreement that we do have, like in a relationship-wise, of the phone situation,
The phone situation?
Correct.
So is it maybe maybe privacy with the phone, or who you're texting, or who?
No, it's more like he wants to go through my phone, and I'm always asking questions like, "Who's that?" But I don't even care about what's in his phone. It's more of he cares if what's in my phone more than I do his.
Doesn't trust you. Is this what you're telling us?
Correct.
Okay. Well, this is an issue the two of you are really going to have to tackle because you've been together 5 years. You really have a pretty good idea about each other and what your inclinations and boundaries are. And I'm wondering, after 5 years, why is this man so insecure? I'm looking at your cards, and here's what I am getting. I feel that he has wounds, we'll call them wounds from the past, in terms of his memory and in terms of his heart, where he was lied to and cheated on, right?
Oh, yes, you are so right.
And as a result of that, he's basically holding you hostage to what has happened to him before. Now, the thing is,
Well, you said what was that? What was the other one?
Think of a way for me to explain that to her.
He's holding you accountable for the actions of his past, of what someone else has done to him.
And the thing is, he loves you, honey, so much that he thinks every man in Texas, they're climbing over each other to get to you, and you would just go off cheating with all of them because he has no faith and trust. You know what? The reason why? He doesn't have faith and trust in himself to be enough of a man for you, for him to be able to believe you. So I would suggest that the love is there, but they got to get this on the right track, because I see down the road her world is going to get smaller and smaller, where he's not only looking in her phone, now he's following her. He's got her under surveillance. She could say, I'm going to go visit my mother. He isn't going to believe her. And pretty soon she'll be living basically with a crazy maniac.
So my perspective on it, as somebody who's been through that, like, I feel like it's been 5 years, so this isn't someone you just met, you know? So it'd be different if you were dating somebody for 2 minutes and then they go through your phone, you'd be like, I'm not dating that person, he's crazy. But you have invested 5 years, and this is what I will say, you have nothing to hide from what I gather. So unfortunately, I think it's just going to be a duration of time, you know, and I think that over time, he's probably, once he's gone through your phone but so many times and there's nothing on it, he's going to be less and less interested in your phone.
I don't know. I think he'll become more of a policeman, thinking that she's such a clever cat burglar that now he'll be digging through everything. Audience, we have an audience here. What do y'all think about this?
Actually, I got a comment on the Facebook live video.
Okay.
One of my good friends, he says, because he is insecure, nothing is more attractive than an insecure man. Right. And that's what I think he's saying is one of the issues that she's having there.
I've been the jealous person, and I will say that, you know, at first I'd be like, you know, who's this person? Who's that person? I'm not going to believe in you. And I would say over time I've gotten better about it myself. I've been the bad person.
Mm-hmm. It becomes an addiction that it's like you can't leave it alone. He'd be going through her laptop, going through her purse. What I'm thinking, or what I'm hearing, actually intuitively, he needs to possibly address this with some counseling. A life coach or somebody that could
He's not like aggressive, like hitting on me or nothing. He's just like, you know, insecure, like, you know, going through my phone, asking me who's that every time he sees a random car at my house or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Anybody who I talk to, he like, even the new friends, like girlfriends, you know, anything like that, he has to know about them. He has to be aware of them. Like, you know, I guess it's just a man thing. I don't know.
Honey, in line, what I would tell you is, I think you're going to have a really good discussion with him regarding boundaries. And if you can't get him to... Josh, do you have something to say? You look like you want to speak.
Well, just like you were about to say, it's about boundaries. And when you have somebody like that who wants to impose, they'll shrink you down to you're living in their own little bubble.
Yeah. No, you have to ask yourself, and this is only a question you can answer. Can you spend your life living this way? And what we'd like to have you do is please call us again, because I do have other people waiting, and I'm not going to be able to continue, but I feel for you, and yes, Nina.
Have her message you, and then we can...
Yeah, message me, honey, through the Facebook page on Facebook. Well, yeah, Facebook.
Yeah.
Counseling is the best thing
I think so,
to talk him into. And even if it's counseling with both of you, with someone, so that he has to admit in front of you what his insecurities are.
Right.
And you can
So
issue it.
thank you so much for calling. We'll watch for your message, okay? And good luck to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was
Thank
really good speaking with you.
Thank you, and
you.
please call us again, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up we have Tina from New Jersey.
There she is.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
We're great. We're so happy that it's Friday.
Yes, the psychic party. Woo!
Yeah, here we are. Well, we're so
Hey,
glad you
Carla,
called,
your
hon.
body good. So, okay, Kendrick and I kind of had like a little disagreement this week. So I wanted to. He's opening up some, but he has. I think he's still afraid of commitment because he said I don't really care about him for him.
He doesn't care. What was that?
Hold on. Can you repeat that last part, Tina?
So I said,
Jim.
oh, yeah, I said Kendrick says that he doesn't feel like I care about him for him.
Dark.
That
You-
you say to her that you don't care enough for him.
You don't care enough for him?
Yeah, we've lost.
Yeah,
Wrong
like I
button.
don't. Yeah, he feels like I don't care about him for him because I left him before.
Oh, I
Years ago.
see. I see. So, okay, so that's definitely something that, you know,
Absolutely.
our wonderfully talented Miss Deborah will look into the cards for you. But, well,
So he's telling her, just recap this for me,
Mhm.
that because she, left 2 months before,
mhm,
that, what was it?
that she doesn't care about him for him. She doesn't love him for who he is. It's
So we have on our hands another insecure male.
I think it's the time of the year.
Thank-
Part of me thinks it's the time
Insecure
of
Fridays.
Yeah, I think it's the Friday thing, and then we get to this time of the year, and it's like, wait a minute, I should be doing this thing, and yet it's not happening the way I thought it would. So as a male, we get to this point of insecurity. Excuse me.
It's almost like cabin fever.
Yeah. I mean, we just got out of winter.
absolutely.
We had a very tough winter this year, and so afterwards we're like, I'm hungry for something, and I don't know where to get
I
from.
love that you guys are providing us with some input here, but I'm sorry, the cards, that's not where the cards are going.
Hey, I can be wrong sometimes.
Well, I know, occasionally men can be wrong, maybe once in a lifetime or so.
Very rare occasion that I'm wrong about something.
What I'm picking up here it is. He is experiencing feelings of jealousy, and he doesn't know why. So he's like turning to the past, going back through that whole thing because he wants to commit, but he's scared to death. I mean, he's got himself kind of sick at heart over this because he thinks if I put more than a toe in this or a foot in this relationship, I'm gonna, as if it was a pool, I'm gonna end up drowning in that pool.
Oh, wow.
But he needs to be reminded that you aren't like the other women he knew. And because you left once, the most important part is you came back. Right?
Absolutely.
Audience?
Yeah.
But I came back because the brother passed away.
Yes. And you could have kept walking in another direction. I think the two of you need to sit down, have a really good talk. And if you need to, I've got a wonderful little exercise that I use in my life coaching to help people put the past behind them. And I'll share it now because there may be others out there. If you're in a relationship that really needs a strong, firm period put at the end of the sentence of, and this was our past, period.
Right.
What you do is you go out, you can go to a thrift store, get a like a male, say a male, what is it called, Ken doll? Get a Ken doll or a male doll. Get a female doll like a Barbie. You go either into the woods or you go to the beach. You go somewhere where you can be alone and in some seclusion. If you want to, you can just use the ocean or a lake. what you're going to want to do is the two of you hold this little ceremony where you say, these dolls represent who we used to be, and we are not them anymore, and we are going to lay them to rest, and they will not be impacting our lives any longer. And then the two of you either dig a little hole and put them in it, in the dirt, wing them into the lake, but it has to then be a pact between you that this will not be revisited again.
Just don't do this activity angrily and accidentally bury or drown the wrong one.
Yeah.
But he said too that he said he didn't know who his mother was until he was 5. Like the grandmother left him and the brother to grow up with the grandmother. So I think he doesn't trust women because of the abandonment of the mom.
Well, very good. Now, there's a very good reason for these two to go into some counseling. And it doesn't have to be like a shrink. You know, there are some very casual, well, we do life coaching at the Healing Fountain. Very reasonable and stuff. So, I mean, there are ways that the two of you could work through this. It should bring you closer. You know, have the two of you pulling together instead of pulling apart.
That's right. We're rooting for you, Tina.
And I see in the cards that he just needs some really strong reassurance from you. And then he needs to believe it. So you keep calling us, honey. We're going to help you get through all of this. It's a jealous feeling on his part. He doesn't understand it himself. But he's terrified. You're right. It was abandonment. And a lot of times this goes way back into early childhood.
Absolutely.
It can be very hard to, get over, but it can be done. So I believe in the two of you, and I hope you do too. And I want you to keep calling us because we'll get... Yep. What, honey?
I know, but I didn't hear. What did you say he's jealous of?
He just has fear of abandonment, and he's gonna, because of that fear, he's gonna have jealousy issues of.
Yes, and it's from way back in his youth, from that early trauma that he suffered. Suffered and stuff.
Okay. So, thank you.
Yeah, you call us again, honey. We love hearing from you.
Thank you. Love you guys. Happy Friday. Bye.
All right.
To talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tina. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pause for a station ID.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
Wi-Fi. Well, here we are back with the Psychic Love Doctor show, and wow, we are getting some really good calls tonight. And please don't feel like it all has to be so serious. And, if you want to call in and find out something that would bring you great joy and happiness, we are here for you. This is your Friday show, and we love hearing from you. So grab yourself an adult beverage or a juvenile beverage if you prefer, and come on. The number.
Our number is 909-792-5222, and definitely call us. And we already have another caller on the line. We have Allie from New Jersey.
Yay, Allie. Hello, and thank you for holding.
Hi, how are you?
Well, we're very excited that the weekend is here. And how are you,
It looks
hon?
nice and bright and outside of the window, but here it's like a little crazy in there.
Oh. So how are you doing, Allie? What can we help you with?
I'm good. I have never talked to anybody like that. This is my first time because we're so excited about it.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we are so happy. Welcome.
Yeah,
We're so happy to have you with us.
Okay, so I'm like 39 years old.
I'm sorry, what was she saying?
You're 39 years old, right?
I have to tell everybody, we have a horrendous storm blowing in here in Virginia, and we are having connection issues like you wouldn't believe. Try to bear with us. We may need you to repeat your information a little bit. Okay.
Allie, did you say you were 29 or 39?
39. I was 29.
Aw, 39's a great age.
39's a new 29.
That's right. So you're 39, and are you single and ready to mingle, or are you in a relationship currently?
No, I wish. I'm 17 years old, married, with 4 kids.
4 kids?
Yes, 4 kids.
God
and,
bless you, honey. God bless you. I had 5, and I'll tell you, you will be able to keep your sanity. It only seems like
so
you're
you
losing
definitely know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's move on. So,
okay.
I'm here in the United States for like almost 11 years. I'm from Pakistan, like living very nice, like quiet life, like without any problem, like a maid here or there. When you come in the United States, of course, you have to work by your own, clean up the bathroom, do the dishes and everything. Of course, we do everything for a better future for our kids and everything, dear ones.
Right,
okay?
of course.
So, starting to come in here 11 years before and start working in here, like, you know, it was my first time experience working in a shop, right, in a cashier when I don't even know the currency, and my husband put me on the cashier. Wow, that's great. So, but it was nice, like, because it's a new life and new beginning of my new world and all that stuff. And then he pushed me, like, I'm like, I don't like working in the shop, right? He's like, okay, then go to some school, like you can just go for better education. I'm like, I always like cosmetology. I start doing a cosmetology, become a hairdresser, then I got pregnant with my 3rd or 4th baby, then time goes by and by, and I never stopped working, and I'm still working. Then the time comes, and I had an opportunity that I can, my husband offered me to open a hair salon for yourself. Like, it's been like 5-7 years you're working, you'd rather be work by your own, become a boss of yourself, like, you know, this and that. Me, I feel like I always want my husband to be ahead of like a little bit a step forward to me, not like I will be moving forward to you. I asked for him, I'm like, why not you do it? He's like, it's more investment by doing what I would want to do. So he worked in a security. So now moving ahead to a new life, becoming a boss, like we start with a 0, thank God, like the grace of the God. It start moving along, getting more clients. Now it's been 3 years, God bless, like, you know, business is doing well.
Fantastic.
After 3 years, the things are getting little changed, like I guess he become little insecure. I love my husband, I love my family, and I know he loved me so much, but I get it that he's becoming little insecure, that I'm moving one step forward than him, which he would never say it because it's a guy's thing. They would never gonna say, oh, you know, you're moving forward than me or you're making more, whatever, but on top of that, they would tell you, like, you know, it's our business. We owned it. I'm like, yeah, but I move forward. Yeah, I get it. I agree. Like, you work hard for it. But if I were not able to put that money, you would never get there where you are. That destroy you in a moment. That destroy you for a moment.
And what is your question, hon? What question do you have for us?
The question is, what can I do to make him feel like, you know, why does he make me feel uncomfortable like that? We are fine together. Is there anything that I can offer him, like, do something else that make them feel like a little better?
You've asked a
I
question
don't know.
that is going to respond to so many in this country and in others where they listen in. First, I'd like to ask you, is he from Pakistan as well?
Yes. We were married 17, but like 7 years we lived together in Pakistan, and then we came here.
Okay, in a bit of a sense, there's a cultural thing here. Okay, where men in other cultures are really expected, or what would it be, traditionally raised, that they're going to be the
breadwinner.
The breadwinner, providing the security, taking care of the family. In this country, it's a bit of a more 50-50 partnership, where the woman does her thing and not necessarily coming home to clean toilets and do laundry. They try to share, at least in the better relationships.
Yes. As she does the cards, I'm going to say, first of all, congratulations as a fellow cosmetologist. It's very hard work to get your business up and going, and, you know, learning the techniques and just doing well and building a clientele. That's amazing. right off the bat, while she's doing the cards, I would say, you know, part of this is give credit where credit's due. You know, I would say, and obviously you are doing the work, you're going the distance, you're the reason why your business is successful. But you know, when you're not arguing or when you're not feeling awkward about it, I would say, you know, I'm so grateful, or we're, you know, blessed that you were able to invest in our business and invest in us together as a team. Acknowledge, you know, when you can, the things he has done, because obviously he has been very supportive of you and he has done those things. And it might take him a little while to acknowledge you. And I think what I'm hearing is you're not really getting acknowledged for all the hard work you have done. But I can tell you, as somebody who is in the industry, it is very, very hard work. And I don't know if any of this is resonating for you.
I know. The only thing is, like, when it's a women thing, when we become like a little more successful, we don't want a guy's support. I think it just becomes like an ego thing.
It is,
yeah.
And
which
also
is not good.
He does
not good too.
He has quite a strong insecurity that the more financially secure she becomes, she's going to leave him for another guy. And that is right here. His biggest fear is that you will want to leave him. Instead of him being there to cheer her on and to be proud, he's scared to death.
Yep. And I know that. Like, listen, I have in Pakistan had the bachelor degree in psychology, and I definitely reading the people mind. What are they talking about?
Well, this is a thing like we said with the other callers. These men have to become strong within themselves. If he's a good husband, if he's a good father, if he's a good citizen, and takes good care of you, makes you feel good, makes her feel to have high self-esteem, then he should feel secure.
It should be. And now this is something I talk about with all my friends too. There are gender roles that we have to talk about when it comes to a relationship, but they're not in the specifics of what we think and know. The man is supposed to be the rock in the relationship, supposed to be emotionally supportive of the woman, and the woman, I hate to say it, is supposed to be stroking the ego.
Submissive.
Well, I don't want to use submissive because it has such a negative connotation to it. But in terms of traditional relationships, and from where some people come from, that's what we're looking at here. But you have this imbalance where the guy is seeing that she's becoming so much more than what he envisioned, that he starts to go, well, where are we lying in our relationship? And that comes from lack of communication.
She wanted to know what to do.
Right.
The cards have a very good path for her to take if she wishes to.
Insight.
What the cards are saying is get somebody really good, qualified to take care of the children, and you take that man on a fabulous trip to somewhere he would like to go, maybe a few places, and turn this into a second honeymoon and re-establish their vows.
Connection.
Do a vow renewal.
I like it.
And I think this could really put you both back on the right track together, but do it without the children.
Right.
This is mommy and daddy time.
Right.
And never feel like it's your fault.
Right.
I am in a similar situation, and
Yeah.
I am so proud of my wife, and somehow you got to get him to feel the same pride in you and your relationship. If he is proud of your relationship, these feelings of lack of his ego feelings will disappear. It somehow you have to get him to feel, I'm doing this for us, honey. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for us.
I agree.
I think we just need more Jerry clones.
Yes. Well, all right. Well, let's.
Allie hung up,
Thank you.
but we hope that we had some good information for some good positive insight. Again, our phone phone number is 909-792-5222. How much time do we have?
Cameraman, do we have any Facebook Live?
We have 16 minutes.
We have 16 minutes, callers. Go ahead and give us a ring if you'd like to hear your call live on the air. But I think these have been really great topics and really having to do with modern day dating, back to our original topic, because it is tough today. Well, often, I think women and men, we have equal opportunity, which means that each partner has equal opportunity to end up with more money. It could go either way.
Well, women can take care of themselves now.
Right.
We don't need a man. We can make it go of it on our own.
But I think we really need to fit. I mean, you need to make it when you're in a relationship. You need to be the missing puzzle piece of the other one. I'd say, with my husband and I, there are times when I have tons of anxiety and I'm just a wreck and he's there for me. But then on the other side, sometimes he's worried about things and I need to be there for him. And monetarily, if we weren't a team and we weren't working together, it'd never work. What do you think, Kyle?
Teamwork is the operative word here. It's a definitive word. It's the whatever language you want to use in this, whatever rhetoric you want to use for this. Teamwork is what makes it happen. Like I said, we have two people coming together, and a lot of people look at it as, no. What you have to do is understand that both of you are coming from two different worlds, and you're trying to create a life for each other. So you have to build off of their experiences and your experiences in order to create a good singular experience.
Absolutely. Now, yes.
And number one with that teamwork is communication.
For sure.
If you've got to establish that communication between the two of you and understand where each person is at. And that's the only way you're going to work out any differences is if you have that communication factor in your relationship.
For sure, absolutely. I'd like to go to another audience member. I would like to go to our lovely Miss Mackey here, and I'd say, what do you find is the number one worst thing about dating in the modern era?
I feel like social networking platforms have ruined relationships. Ruined more relationships than brought.
Tell us why.
Well, I have to deal with, we've been talking a lot about trust, and I feel like social networking has stoked the fire on a relationship that didn't have trust to begin with. Can I check up on their friends? What are they posting on their Instagram? Who's liking their pictures? Where are they going when they're not with me? All of these things that we should be secure in are stoked.
Well, you have the equivalent of a singles bar 24/7 in your home or in your apartment. You know what I mean?
And it's not just a singles bar that you got with some of these things. It's an entire life book that people have posted things from many years ago that are coming up and biting them in the behind now. And so I hate to just take your point from you there, but I agree. Social media and the way it's become in today's world is heavily relied upon, and it doesn't allow a person to get to know a person. You get to know their internet personality.
Go ahead.
How many times does a person on social media exaggerate and not tell the truth?
Oh,
yeah.
And then you get in a relationship and you find out the truth.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I was actually talking to somebody earlier, and we were talking about how much pressure there is to have this, facade, and whether it's a facade or not, to make our lives look better or more complete. Nobody's posting like barely made the rent this month or anything like that. So it's like you're fighting through the layers. Maybe somebody's on your social media and they're going, man, she seems like she has it all together. And then you have to let them down and be like, well, I know I look great, on Facebook, my life seems together, but this is really a mess. And you have to have that honesty in person still.
Do you even have to have it? I think for business purposes and promotional purposes it's wonderful, but do people really need social media?
There's the pressure, there's the social equity. As soon as somebody says, I don't have a Facebook, you're like, why? Are you murdering people, or are you in the CIA?
I guess I feel weird. I have to admit, I feel weird about it too.
Yeah, no, it's completely weird to just be disclosing your lives. Before it was celebrities and Inquire, and now everybody, in a sense, is a celebrity in their own local world.
Jim, do you have anyone for us on? Well, it's a strange Friday night. There's
I'm just wondering because people are talking about calling in, so
Yeah,
well,
Danielle is wanting to call in.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Is there a problem with
And not sure what's going on.
One more time, that phone number is 909-792-5222. We have a couple minutes. If we get one more caller in the meantime, it'll just be us entertaining you with our lovely conversation.
Yes, of course.
So, Nina or Kathy, who's over there?
No, it's Veronica.
Veronica! What do you think the number one weirdest thing today about dating is in the modern era, besides obviously our other answers? You have to have an answer.
Not knowing when to have sex.
No, I'm not giving that answer. Well, I am. I've been dating for 6 years, this man, and he is very insecure.
Oh boy, that's the word.
Like the word of the day tonight, because he is always feeling like we're not spending enough time together, and I'm going to find someone else younger and whatever. And I am just perfectly content.
More sex. There's not enough sex going on.
I think there's too much. All right.
I'm just happy Netflix and chilling without the added stuff.
Well, I think that it seems like you guys have a lovely relationship, and
I would think so too.
I hope that this spring all of the men everywhere feel more secure.
Men need to tell us why we make them so insecure.
Right.
And we finally have a caller.
There it is.
One more caller, Danielle from Texas.
Right on.
Hi,
As
it's
the
me.
psychic
I'm
love doctor.
sorry. Can y'all hear me? Hello.
Fill us in. What's going on?
Nothing.
How's
I
Isaac?
wanted to call y'all so y'all could, let me know what's going on.
How is Isaac? Is he still handsome? And how was your week? Were there any lunches?
I had a good week. We let me see. We had a really good date night on Wednesday. We went out for a steak dinner. He took me out for dinner.
So things are going okay since a little hiccup last week?
Yes. Everything, I took Deborah's advice just to believe him and to just focus on the positive.
Good.
Well, Deb is going to, as always, with her faithful card, she's going to look into those for some insight for you for this week. But I am so happy. It would not be a complete show without your call, Danielle.
I know. I'm so sorry. The time just went by on me. I didn't even realize.
You're a part of the show now. We need you to call in.
You're VIP.
If you don't call in, I'm going to be like, where is Danielle? We need to send out a search
and
team.
Tina in New Jersey.
And Tina in New Jersey. Awesome.
We're going to have all those ladies.
That makes me so happy. That's really nice.
Do you have any fun plans for this weekend?
This weekend, I'm just going to spend time with family and for the Easter weekend and hang out with Isaac probably later tonight.
Good.
Very nice.
Later tonight?
Yes.
Right on. 2 days in the week.
Very good.
Found Chicky
Okay, now we got to get down to some brass tacks here.
Let's
a couple
do it.
things here
Yes.
that I want to bring up. First of all, Isaac has a close male friend that seems like a really great guy, but I think he wants to work on Isaac to get him to run around. What is it you call men? Out carousing and
Gigolo.
chasing women.
Having a good time.
Become a fun time Harry.
One that did the whole text
It
message
could be.
thing.
He wants to make Isaac feel bad to be in a relationship, that he should be out running around, carousing. I don't know what the word is, be in his posse.
There's always that one guy.
There's always that one guy.
Always that one guy.
And
it's jealousy that brings it around.
Yep.
Because you're the good girlfriend,
you're the good girl, and he's having a hell of a time getting you away from Isaac. But I want to tell you, Isaac is now, he's losing more and more of his insecurity because of the way she treats him and acts. The way she was able to, how, ladies, let's admit it. A lot of us out there will drill and drill and drill a guy. Oh, but I still don't really believe you about that earring on the kitchen counter, or
Shocking.
yeah,
Like that's new.
you know, and where the guy is going to go, oh my God, my head is going to blow up from this girl. We ruin it for ourselves. Where these women have called in saying these men are insecure. But we women show it in a whole different way, where we literally destroy the relationship. And Danielle is not doing that. She asked him point blank, she said, if there's someone else, let me know. So,
Right.
So Danielle, I want you to know that Isaac is now he is really starting to think about the future now. He is starting to contemplate. I honestly say this guy still is thinking about marrying you. Okay? It's definitely there in your cards. He's just still unsure, insecure in a sense about making that commitment. But it's coming. It's coming. It's sure to come true.
Dun, dun, dun.
There it is.
Well, okay, well, that was very good to hear. I'm glad he's, definitely thinking about me and
just keep being you, honey. Just be the wonderful girl you are. He knows, the woman that you are. You guys share very intimate moments. They have a wonderful companionship together. Just be who you are. And I'll tell you what, if he turns out to not be able to appreciate that, he's the loser.
That's right.
Yeah. So we are very short to being chased out of here for the next show that's going to be on deck. So I just wanted to tell you, just enjoy the week. Enjoy the weekend. And know that Isaac has been making plans. It's not Jerry. We got a few guys here. It's not easy to make that decision, to commit yourself.
It's not. And we've talked about insecurity, about a man's insecurity. But insecurity goes both ways.
Yeah.
It really does. And insecurity can kill a relationship.
It certainly can.
And it can kill a good relationship because of what I mentioned before, lack of communication.
Okay, so remember that. Communicate, communicate, communicate.
I'll communicate.
And thank you, Danielle. Happy Easter to you.
Thank you.
And we hope to hear from you next week. Thank you. Hugs. And to everyone who's joined us, well, first of all, I want to thank my beautiful co-host, Lauren.
Aww.
And I want to thank my beautiful, what are you, like, second?
Co-host?
Yeah, co-host. Yeah. That would be Kyle. And our audience that joined us tonight. I really appreciate having some input from them and from all of you. So please know, if you'd like to continue with the reading process when we're not on the air, you can certainly go to your Google Play Store and pick up the Psychic Love Doctor app, where it's free. You you can give yourself readings 24/7. No strings attached. It's not available currently for iPhones because when they updated that operating system, we found a big glitch. We're working on that, but you do have a nice workaround. Go to my website, psychiclovedoctor.com, and on the top menu, you'll see where it says free reading. That is the identical program that is in the app. Put a bookmark there, and you can still, even with your iPhone, you can still give yourself readings. Yippee-ki-yay, right? Want to thank everybody who always joins us, and we get such wonderful feedback from so many of you. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And if you have additional feedback, something you'd like us to do on the air, if there's a topic we haven't covered for you, we'll be more than happy to work it right in there.
Absolutely.
So to all, I want to say it's been wonderful. We wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you. Tonight we had glitchy audio. I think it's this huge storm that's going to be blowing in. I'd like to leave you all pretty soon here as we're wrapping up. My grandmother who taught me this method, that woman only completed the 6th grade, but I'll tell you, she had wisdom and insight beyond her years. And nobody knew until later in her life that it all came from an ordinary deck of playing cards. I'd like to leave you then with her words. And boy, these words mean everything to me every single day. She said, "To dream is to believe. And once you believe, all things are possible." So everybody, take care. We'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Be there. We will too. Adios.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3.